Yo, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. My name's Tyler. Welcome to Game 4 of Yo v Fire. This is a 4-game set. This is the last game, and we're going to be watching Turks. These guys have swapped colors. This game, Yo is going to be in blue, and Fire is going to be in red. That seems to make sense to me. Fire is red, after all. If you haven't seen the previous games in this set, I would highly recommend that you check them out, especially Game 3. You know, if you had one game that you could watch today, I think Game 3 is the best. I haven't seen this game yet. Maybe it will be even better, but having just finished Game 3, holy cow, it was awesome. Okay, so let's take a look at the maps here. We can see that Yo here, Yo here in blue. He's got his gold on the front, berries on the front. Not a lot of structure to work with for walling purposes, but he does have some. Suppose he could certainly wall here, block some of that off. This side of the map looks very wide open. His secondary gold is way far in the front, and 2 stone piles here, another gold pile here. So he has a lot of resources somewhat close to his TC, but none of them very easy to defend. Maybe a potential wall off like this way to protect this gold. We'll see what Yo decides to do. Fire, on the other hand, he's on. He has gold on the back, stone on the back, berries here to the side. He doesn't have a lot of structure to work with either, so a full wall in might be very tricky for him. Secondary gold is way off to the side, going to be very hard to defend that. Secondary stone way out in front. So not great maps for either player, but very fair here. I think very equal. Some of the previous games, I won't give any spoilers here, but some of the previous games had some minor minorly unfair differences in maps. One player would have a very bad map, one player would have a much better map. In this game, it looks pretty much dead even. If we look at the villagers, we can see Yo has 4 on wood, maybe a drush from him. We can also see that Fire has 4 on wood. So potentially 2 drushes, or maybe not. You never know. I haven't seen any shenanigans yet, but both scouts are forward in each other's bases. We have seen a little bit of shenanigans in the previous games, so I wouldn't be terribly surprised if a boar or some sheep get stolen. But until then, we will fast forward a little bit, since this might just be a regular old Dark Age. We can see that Yo here is coming in. It's going to be very hard for me to announce this game since they switched colors. They played the first 3 games with Yo in red and Fire in blue. So now I'm sure I'll make a few mistakes. We can see Yo coming in here. He's going to get some good idea of what his opponent's map looks like. Fire, on the other hand, is doing some scouting in Yo's base, and he's doing a very good job of... Oh, that villager's going to be just fine. He's doing a very good job of identifying all of those resource piles. Yo is probably going to do the same. He's certainly found that main gold, and they both really now know each other's weaknesses, which is the fact that this is going to be an open game. I think an open game... Oh, a couple of idols here from Yo, just for a moment. But losing a little bit of villager time. We'll see if that impacts him in any way. I think an open game probably favors Yo a little bit. Being a slightly higher ranked player, usually, I don't know, usually I see Yo wall up, but I feel like he's highly capable of coming forward with aggression. I don't know why I'm speculating so much, people. Maybe it's because I haven't slept in like 42 hours. Meth is a hell of a drug. Fire here is on 21 population, 20 villagers. He is a villager ahead of Yo already. Yo's going to come down with a barracks. Presumably, we're going to see militia when after he clicks up. Yo's grabbing that gold. He's already loomed, so he's probably ready to go to feudal. Fire's going to grab loom now and probably click up himself. Again, why am I speculating so much? The game will happen as it happens, people. Just let it be. We can see a little bit of a wall off potentially going to be coming here from Fire. Not sure if he's just going to go straight on a straight diagonal here or what. But both players clicking up to feudal, very similar times. Villager counts are identical. And we see 4 coming forward here at the moment for Fire. Those could be headed toward Yo. One would think that those are going to be towering. And how about this for parity? Not only are the maps incredibly similar, the forwards are going to be incredibly similar. So 4 villagers coming forward for Yo. These villagers are going to literally pass each other like ships in the night. Neither player knowing about the oncoming forward just yet. Yo's is going to be a little bit slower since he's turned around to put up some walls. But yeah, we're going to see a double tower rush here. Potentially, could just be a forward from both players. I shouldn't be presuming so much. But here comes Yo. He's going to be undetected, at least at the villager level. And potentially he's going to head straight for this gold pile and maybe take it away. But we'll see. On the other side, we can see Fire is going to get a barracks up and maybe start to put some pressure on this all of these resources could be taken away with 1 or 2 towers. So maybe that's what he'll go for. We do see Yo with a couple of militia on the field. Those are going to support his towers, or his potential towers. And there goes that tower that we spoke of, right on the main gold of Fire. So Yo's going to take away Fire's gold, and Fire is going to build a forward archery range and start putting pressure on Yo as well. Would not be surprised to see a couple towers in here, but hey, I'm just a spectator. There is a scout in here, but not scouts plural. For the moment, it's going to be a drush for Yo. If we look back home, we can see that he doesn't have another military building that I can see. Maybe these villagers, when they're done building towers, will start building an archery range, but we'll wait and see that. This drush is pretty effective at the moment, distracting these 4 villagers from working. A couple of these militia on low HP, or at least that one is, so they're not going to do a whole heck of a lot. But really, he's distracting Fire. Fire doesn't even know about this yet, and it's going to really be a rude awakening when he finds out that his gold and stone have been taken away, and his ability to farm on this side will also be taken away. But Fire is distracted because he's in the middle of harassing Yo himself. A couple of spears here, a couple of skirmishers, tower coming down. That's going to be able to harass this gold and this wood line, and Fire's going to block off this, potentially block off this area to attack that tower. So, a couple of towers from Fire. He didn't want to put one here like I asked him to. That's because he's a whole lot better than me. He doesn't have to listen to me. But Yo's got the towers down. He's got the control over here. And it looks like Fire's going to have some serious problems with taking gold unless he starts to do it here in Yo's base. He's actually going to go for stone first so that he can build a few more towers. Yo had 3 villagers on stone. They're going to be harassed off of it, but that means he's probably going to be dropping another tower. If we look at his stone count, we can see he has enough to do it. These villagers here are coming over to harass this wood line along with these militia. There is enough of a force here to maybe push Fire back. This is a pretty close fight. If Fire decides to take it, he should be able to get that scout very quickly. Should be able to get this militia quite quickly. And it really looks like Yo doesn't have a whole lot of a chance here to do a whole lot more harassment. Meanwhile, on the other side, those skirmishers and spears are still intact. They're going to do some harassment on Yo. Yo's trying to get a defensive tower up. He most certainly will get that tower up, but he may lose a little villager. No, he won't lose a villager there. He's going to be totally fine, and he's going to push that back. So, both players building towers. At the moment, Yo has the score lead by 2 points. Nope, Fire's taking it back over. Yo has the villager lead by 4. That's probably more important right now. He's got some of Fire's villagers idled here, doing a bit of a villager drush, I guess you could call it. I mean, it's not the Dark Age, but doing what you do with militia in a drush, which is sort of come in, get a few hits, run away. That seems to be distracting Fire just a little bit. Meanwhile, on this side, Fire's got Yo's stone miners in total chaos, and it looks like he will pick this villager off. So he'll grab a villager and he'll slow Yo's stone mining. That could allow Fire to get more towers up and really take over the control of Yo's resources on this side of the base. But Yo isn't done. He's actually mining stone on this side. How about that? So both players mining stone in each other's bases, and both players putting up lots of offensive and defensive towers. Unfortunately for Fire, that tower is just a couple of panels away from being awesome. Had it been here, it could have attacked this stone, but I'm not sure he even knows that Yo is over there. He doesn't know. So you can't hit what you don't know is there. There is going to be a very aggressive tower here from Fire right in the middle of Yo's base, taking away his main gold, starting to harass his farms. He's actually deleted that now, and where's he going to go with it? Similar, just about the same spot. So, does Yo see this? I would imagine he probably does. Yep, he sees that going down, and he's going to put a counter tower up of his own. He's got many more villagers working on it, so he is going to push this tower back. So for now, a bit of a stalemate, both players trying to push at each other with towers. Looks like Fire got a little bit too aggressive here with this particular one, and Yo's going to push him back. Unfortunately, Fire's not reacting in time. He may actually lose a villager here. No, I think he'll be just fine. So he's going to lose that tower, but his villagers are still intact, and they still will be mining stone happily in Yo's base. Yo is still over here, happily mining in Fire's. If Fire can see him even, nope, Fire still doesn't even see that mine. He might presume that Yo is either taking gold or stone there, but he doesn't know quite yet. It's not a known, it's an unknown known, as Rumsfeld would say. A little bit of walling going up here from Yo, or he's thinking about it. He hasn't actually sent the builders. From Fire. Yo coming forward with quite a few villagers here to drop a defensive tower that will defend this stone and take away Fire's ability to mine this stone here. So Yo actually, that tower I think really gives Yo the advantage. If that thing goes up, which I think it will before anything can get there. Really nice couple of palisades there from Yo. That's going to slow his opponent down. And this tower will it go up? These villagers are really being harassed right now. Yep, and that tower's up. And I think that's going to be a huge boon for Yo. At this point, Yo can really start to defend his own resources. And he's still got villagers in Fire's base that are happily taking resources away. Fire does have a really nice contingent of skirmishers. Yeah, I'm trying to use bigger words now. Let me know what you think about that. Probably not even the right word. But those skirms are going to get a villager and probably two. There's another one down. You can also see that Fire is rushing this tower with villagers. That tower is going to go down eventually if these repairers can be stopped. But Fire is starting to lose villagers on that side, and he's actually going to retreat from that. So this tower is going to stay up even though it was down to about 40 HP. In the meantime, Fire continues to use skirmishers to probably kill a few more villagers here eventually. It's like Cartman hitting you with a wiffle ball bat just 100,000 times until you're dead. There goes another villager down. If we look at the villager count, we can see Yo is up by 2. At the moment, he is happily still mining stone here. Fire still doesn't know he's there. Probably does know he's there, but he can't visualize it. Yo's got a couple of, or Fire's got a couple of those walls up, really being cheap there, so that he can see these villagers working. Not my favorite tactic, but it's part of the game. Meanwhile, we can see these skirmishers are trying to deny this tower. Villagers involved as well. That looks like it will be denied, one would think. There's only a few villagers here, but it looks like Fire has lost 2 or 3 villagers in a row there. It looks like he finally will get one of Yo's villas there. Yo is very committed to building this tower. There's only skirmishers here to stop him now, and it looks like that will go up and really neutralize this whole forward from fire. So Yo has wrestled control of this game for the moment, at least in my opinion, which means nothing. And it looks like Fire's going to have to find a way to basically come back from this, come back from having his gold and stone taken away from him, and find a way to gather some resources of his own. And he's probably a bit befuddled at the moment. There's another big word. He does have a small gold patch here, a secondary gold, which he's taking very happily at the moment. One would think that Yo has scouted that area out. He has, and he will eventually make his way over there and probably put some pressure on it. Another villager or two down there. We have a new tower in the fray. That's going to take away these farms. Again, 8 range on a tower, 6 range on the TC. So this tower is going to be a real pain in the butt. Meanwhile, what's going on back home for Yo? Not too much. Yo is really taken over. He's starting to take his own resources very happily. He's up on an advantage of 43 to 36 villagers. So he's really got a huge thing going for him. Defensive tower here from Fire. That's going to be up in time to stop Yo from putting a tower down of his own. Not exactly a great tower in the grand scheme, but it does stop Yo from creeping over. I think if Yo gets a tower here, it's got to be about good game, you know. He would take away this wood line and a lot of this farming. So a necessary defensive tower there from Fire, and that's going to extend the game just a little bit. Meanwhile, more towers coming down in defense here for Yo. He's going to defend this gold. That tower will certainly be up in time, so Fire will retreat, although Fire has sent some more villagers forward to try to keep the pressure on. Meanwhile, Yo's towering villagers are starting to work their way around to the other side of Fire. Maybe they're going to drop a tower somewhere else, or maybe they're just going to go home and start working. Nope, they'll drop a tower on the edge of this wood line, and Yo is literally going to act like a boa constrictor here and completely surround Fire with towers. Meanwhile, Fire is still he has a forward here, but you think he's abandoning it at this point. It just doesn't seem like he's going to be able to get any bang for his buck. He's going to send those villagers that were forward back to build a defensive tower here, and that's going to do a good job to defend his gold, which is absolutely necessary for him to have any chance whatsoever in winning. So Yo with an advantage, but it isn't over yet, people. The fire still is burning. The coals are still hot. We'll see how this thing ends up. For now, we do see Fire clicking up to Castle. That's going to be a huge advantage if he can get there a few minutes before Yo. He needs something good going in his favor. You know, sometimes when you're losing a game, you just need to have a hope and a prayer, and that's going to be his last hope, is to get a little bit of pressure on. Another tower coming up here for Yo. He will not be able to block Fire's villagers from coming in to try to rush this down. Yo's going to lose a villager, probably 2 or 3 here. He's probably going to lose that tower very soon as well. Yo's actually walled his own villager out of the ability to build that tower. No, he'll build that tower through the wall. Apologies. Forgot about how the physics work in this game sometimes. Looks like Yo will lose the villagers on this front. If Fire wants to come and rush that tower down, there's still an opening for him to do that. But I'm much more interested to see what Castle Age brings for these two guys. You know, Yo has a lot of resources saved up. Fire has a bit of resources himself. So they should be able to drop TCs and maybe turn this into a full-on castle war. For now, Yo's tower is up. Fire is not rushing it down at the moment, and Yo is starting to put down houses and palisades to block Fire's ability to rush that down. Fire hitting Castle Age, getting chain barding armor right away. We're going to see some aggression from him. Here's his stables, couple of knights on the way. Those knights will be able to clean up towers and clean up villagers for at least a couple of minutes until Yo catches up. Meanwhile, Yo is going to drop another tower here, doing a very nice job of walling his villagers into a little bubble there, which is going to basically make things hard for Fire. So Fire's knights are not going forward, they're coming back in defense. At least the first one did. The next three might come forward, and they may try to put some pressure on. Yo's walled himself into another little bubble here so that he can take gold without harassment. And it looks like these knights are headed forward to do what? We'll find out very soon. It's still that tower trying to come up on the front for Yo. Yo with a camel here in defense. It's not going to be able to take down 3 knights. Those knights are going to get some harassment in, at least for the moment. A second camel out, so it's time for Yo to engage. He's going to grab these knights, presumably fairly quickly. Probably more camels to be reinforced by Yo, since he's the slower player getting to castle. And we'll see what Fire can do here. He needs to make something out of this. I feel like he's only 6 villagers behind, but I feel like he's way behind in map control. You know, Yo is still here, although Fire has taken down that most forward tower. Yo is still here, taking away really the best spots for Fire to be mining his resources. Camels for Yo in defense. They're starting to clean up those knights. Knights not being reinforced at too terribly fast of a rate, one at a time coming in. And it looks like camels are going to prevail here along with a couple of spearmen. And it looks like Yo has wrestled back control. So Fire's big chance was to get to castle first and get some villagers, get some harassment, and it doesn't look like that's going to be enough for him. So what's next for Fire? We'll have to see if he can maybe pull something else out of his keister, maybe. Until then, we're just going to see 1 or 2 knights at a time. A monk out to start doing some healing. Fire is running around getting an idea of exactly what Yo's doing. If he wants to, he could focus on these villagers, but these camels are really going to be a problem for him, and the spears out as well are going to be a problem. So Yo really going full defensive for the early part of the Castle Age. Looks like now he's got a couple of knights out on the field. He's got some monks of his own. And this is going to be probably a pretty balanced army in the end for Yo. Yo still has these towers up on Fire's base, and he's really taken away Fire's ability to farm anywhere around his TC. As far as TCs go, I think we're on 1 TC versus 1 TC still. So, villagers slowly trickling out for both players. Second TC coming up now for Yo. That seems like a very smart move for him. The location is interesting. It's in a place that at least he knows he won't be harassed right away. He could have done it on this side, but he's decided that a nice wood line that's safe and easy for villager production is smarter, and he's probably right. Looks like a mass exodus of villagers here for Fire. Maybe those are going to come and rush down a couple of these towers. Those towers are surrounded by palisades, but it's really a last-ditch effort from Fire, who needs some more gold. His whole gold mining here is gone, so those villagers are here to try to get this down. Unfortunately, they're not actually attacking. They're just kind of walking around and being shot by arrows. So it looks to me like Yo has this game in the bag. We'll have to see what Fire can do in the next few minutes. Not sure exactly what he was planning there. He came forward and then he kind of ran back, losing some villagers for free, which is never good. Third TC now coming down for Mr. Yo, and he's in really good shape. Unfortunately, Fire's not going to be able to put another TC down because he doesn't have enough stone, but he'll throw a lumber camp here and he'll be able to maybe grab some wood in peace, since Yo doesn't know about his villagers there. If we look at the villager count, it's Yo on 56, Fire on 36, and Yo's really starting to run away with this. Although Fire is able to defend his own end at the moment, he really has huge problems with collecting things like gold. Gold is important in this game, people. So he's got some serious problems. Yo putting in very nice TC up here. He's going to grab that gold in peace, and he's going to be very well protected, especially considering that Fire only has a couple of knights left. So here's Fire's main army. He has healed it up with his monk, but you can see he's down by 1,000 points, and he's down by, 23 villagers. So Fire needing to do something really, really drastic at the moment, and it doesn't seem like it's in the cards for him. And it looks like Fire and I both agree that it is over at about the same time. So Fire's going to call GG. This is maybe the most chaotic of this set of 4. Lots of towers, both players going forward at the same time, passing each other like ships in the night to build offensive towers on each other's bases, and it turned out that Yo's towers were able to do a little bit more damage than Fire's, and in the end Yo gets the win. So Yo wins game 4. Again, this was a Turks war. Please check out games 1, 2, and 3 if you have a chance. If you are very busy and you can only watch one more game this week, I would highly recommend watching game 3 of this set. I'll be uploading that at the same day as this game. That has a really epic Mongols war. But all in all, a really nice set of 4 games between these two players. Very competitive. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Tyler, and I'll see you next time.